So, I've been on YouTube for 3 years, and I want to say it really feels like forever ago that I drew that silly little symbol with colored pencils. I want to thank those original people, and when I say original, I mean you stuck with me since 2016. And those who subscribed since then, thank you also. So, as you can guess, I game a lot. In this video, and for this video, I thought I'd show you my top 10 favorite video games of all time. Now, I'll be doing this under the rule of one game per franchise, so like it gets better. It's not just Zelda and Xenoblade. On to the list! I love Catherine. My history with this game is really weird. I first found this game because of PewDiePie's Let's Play, and because of that, I told a friend who had a PS3 about this game, and his parents actually allowed him to play immature games. And he sort of just got it and we played it together, so yeah. I've never owned this game, but we did complete it together. Catherine is a game about a man named Vincent. His girlfriend, Catherine, spelled with a K, wants to go to the next level of their relationship, and Vincent doesn't want that. So one night he gets drunk off his ass and sort of cheats on Catherine with a girl named Catherine, spelled with a C. Meanwhile, Vincent and other men get nightmares where the floor is falling and he must climb to the top of the tower to avoid dying. Because if you die in the dream, you die in real life. Now, yes, Catherine is a puzzle game where you move blocks around to climb up and up. But it has another part to it. This game is split up into 2 parts. The first part is the one where you wander around the bar with your friends, talk to people, receive and respond to text, deal with relations, look at naughty pictures, and get drunk. I love these parts of the games. You get to know so many people and their stories, and even figure out that these people are having the same nightmares as you. I love the random alcohol trivia you get after finishing a drink.
I know this is sudden, but here's some trivia for you, as you seem to have finished your class.
Then, like I said before, the nightmare section. The puzzles are... Okay, fair warning. The puzzles get hard, dude. You must climb blocks, push, pull, rearrange, use items, stuff like that, to get to the top of the tower. It's hard, okay? It is so hard. I still love them just as much. I also love how when a block is floating only because it's attached to an edge, there's like a little voice that just goes, edge. Edge, 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 edge. Like, it's just so satisfying to me. I also love when a boss appears, you hear a voice go, this boss has appeared, don't die. It's freaking hilarious to me. This game also makes you question your morals a lot, like with these questions you get after you complete each level. But I still love this game so much. Luigi has always been the lesser brother, and you know, that sucks. Especially because I can relate. So when I first heard of Luigis Mansion, I was so excited. This game was just plain spoopy fun. Also, I'm talking about the original GameCube version, okay? Not the crappy 3DS remake. I love how the soundtrack is mostly just remixes of the main theme. I love all the ghosts, especially the grabber ghost.
And here we have my favorite ghosts. These are grabbing ghosts, I believe. I like the sound they make when you start sucking them up. Okay, yeah! That's like my favorite sound ever. I don't know why, I just like it.
I love how the toads are just crying in the mansion helplessly until you talk to them. Then their like whole freaking world lights up. This game is just fun, and I already talked about it in my Luigi's Mansion review. Okay, I didn't talk about the story, but still, I'm just shamelessly plugging a video. Next. When I first started up Persona 3, I knew that this was going to be interesting and different, just by the opening theme. Now, I was first shown to the Persona franchise through Persona 5, but things didn't go so well because apparently the PS3 version is dysfunctional, so I got Persona 3 and ended up loving it too much. Normally, I'm not a fan of turn-based combat, but Persona has mechanics like one more, all-out attacks, follow-up attacks, conversing with the enemies, and the best of them all, no random encounters. Take that, Pokemon! Also, the story is freaking wonderful. There is a hidden hour in the day called the Dark Hour. Only people with the potential to use a persona are active during the Dark Hour. Then just add some Demon Towers, High School Life, and the Arcana.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed.
Alright, I'm gonna get into spoiler territory, so skip here to avoid spoilers. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I also like how the game gives you the ending in the first 15 seconds of the game. Memento Mori. Remember, you, specifically you, will die. Now, Persona 3 is far from the first game that kills its protagonist, but I still love games that do that, and I'm okay with the ending. And yes, that includes the answer. Now, I'm a fan of chess. I like how you have to really think about your moves before you make it. So, when I heard of a franchise that's like chess but it has an amazing story, I clung to it like a sandspur. Fire Emblem Awakening was my first mainline Fire Emblem game that I've ever played. Oh yeah, I'm not forgetting about you. First, I like the gameplay. Like I said about Persona 3, I'm not a fan of turn-based combat, and although Fire Emblem does have a turn-based system, it's different. Like I said, it's like chess. The story is also amazing, and I'm gonna get into spoiler territory yet again, so skip here to avoid spoilers. 3, 2, 1, go. Like many Fire Emblem games, you're a tactician / general / leader, leading your units into a war, which turns into killing a dragon. But Fire Emblem Awakening adds the whole time-traveling element, which makes the story just fun as hell. I also love how you don't play as the hero of this story. You play as the hero's best friend. Robin isn't the one to kill Grima. He isn't the prince / king of the Elise. He's just the friend of Chrom. And I'm completely okay with that. When you think of Masahiro Sakurai, you'll probably think about Kirby or Smash Brothers. When I hear Sakurai, I think Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus Uprising is a truly amazing game. Its story, the characters, the gameplay have so much depth and charm to them. I love how every character has their own unique personality. You don't even have to hear them, you just have to read what they say and you can probably tell who it is. Especially Palutena, who's honestly the best part of this game. The world feels so diverse with the many places you go. You can go from an underwater palace to a freaking Death Star disguised as a moon to the inside of Hades himself. This gameplay is fun. Levels always start with a flying section, and then a ground section, and I love them both so much. The flying section is like Star Fox, a on-rails shooter, and then the ground section is more like a linear version of Legend of Zelda. The story is also stellar, but I'm not going to jump into it, or else this video will be much more longer than it already is. Okay, so, you know how I said what people think of when they hear Sakurai? Well, number 5 on this list is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I still stand by what I said, though. Sakurai and Kid Icarus. I think of Super Smash Bros. As more of a everyone involved with Nintendo kind of thing. Both fictional and non-fictional characters. I like fighting games. I didn't love them, but I like them. But when there's a fighting platformer party game featuring some of my all-time favorite video game characters, ya boy's pretty excited. I love both communities of this game, both casual and competitive. The amount of thought Sakurai put in this game and its characters is just phenomenal. The simple yet complex menus, the new ways of setting up a match, the new mechanics and old ones they're bringing back, and obviously the fact that everyone is here, the whole music playlist that only a rich white mother uses, and yes, even World of Light. I have spent countless hours on this game, and I still just love it so much. Now, I'm a fan of games with a unique gameplay style, and a cool story. So, when I saw a game where you throw people and headbutt enemies to death, I'm magnetized to Pikmin. My favorite one of the franchise is Pikmin 2. The story of Pikmin is that a man by the name of Captain Olimar has crash-landed on post-human extinction Earth. and must collect the ship parts that have been lost to the crash, and in order to do this, he uses the help of Pikmin. And Pikmin 2 starts. Olimar returns home to find out the company he works for is in debt, and the company's president sends Olimar and a co-worker of his, Louis, back to Earth to collect treasure and pay off the debt of 10,000 Pokos, which are basically dollars. I like Pikmin 2 more because of what it adds. Obviously, the story is better, there are more Pikmin types, dungeons have been added, new areas, one for each season, and more cooler enemies. I also love the Easter egg this game has. They're better than the original and 3's Easter eggs. Like I said for the last pick, I like games with a unique gameplay. So the next game is The World Ends With You. The World Ends With You is an RPG that takes place in the real life city of Shibuya in Japan. The main character, Neku, wakes up in the middle of the street to find a pin that lets him read minds in his hand. He finds an email that gives him orders and threatens to kill him if he fails them. And weird frog monsters attack him. He is playing the Reaper's Game. A game that gives you a second chance in life, but in order to win, finish your mission for the day. But if you fail, you'll be erased from existence. The story then unfolds into a Fate of the City stuff as well. I like this game for such unique and vibrant characters such as Beaten Rhyme or the best character Joshua, which is not opinion, it's just fact. It also has such unique mechanics, like the foods that give you bonus stats that'll actually be digested by bite, fighting with pins that gives you powers, or even clothing/pin brands that are trending in a certain area will give you a stat boost when using them. This game can get really weird, but I'm okay with that, and I'm so glad a sequel has been confirmed.
Man, I wish I had pins that gave me powers. Hey bro, can you help us light the fire?
Yeah, give me a second. Crap, we don't have any lighters. Wait a second. Although The Legend of Zelda wasn't the first game I've played, it was the game that started my love for video games, which is why number 2 is my favorite of the Zelda games, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I chose both because I love them just as much, but I already made a video talking about how much I love Wind Waker, a link in the description, so for right now I'm just going to focus on Twilight Princess. I'm not going to get too into the story because it'll just take a long time, so let's go into the other stuff I like. The world of this game is definitely my favorite of the Hyrules you play in. It's very immersive, except for Breath of the Wild, but still. The soundtrack is actually the best in the franchise, I'm not kidding. It's, again, tied with Wind Waker, but still. You also get the best character in all of Zelda history, Mid-freaking-na. Midna is actually the best. I also love the Snow Peak area, and it sucks that you only see it in this game. But you also have the best dungeon and boss fight. Plus, you also get the best dungeon and boss of this game.
Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip!
Let's fight an epic battle! Face off and spin the metal!
This is probably no surprise, but I love Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade is a JRPG that takes place on the corpse of 2 great titans, the organic and live Bionis, and the mechanical Mechonis. A war breaks out between the Homs, people of the Bionis, and the Mechon, strange robot-like beings that roam the Mechonis. The only weapon that can hurt the Mechon is the Monado, a weapon that can only be wielded by the hero known as Dunban. A year after the war on the Mechon has ended, a young adult by the name of Shulk has been researching the Monado. One day, his hometown of Colony 9 is attacked by the Mechon. He later learns that he can wield the Monado himself, and he sets off with his friend Rhine to get revenge on the Mechon. The story then unfolds into something so much more. I love almost everything about this game. The world, the story, the characters, the combat system, the kick-ass tunes. Now, I'm not going to explain this all because this video would be 4 hours long, but just know that if you have a Wii, Wii U, or new 3DS, I highly recommend that you get this game. It's $20 for Virtual Console on Wii U, and it's gamepad compatible. It's $50 for the new 3DS and Wii version, but hey, whatever. So yeah, that was that. Thank you all for watching and sticking with me for these 3 years. It's been one hell of a journey, and it's only going to get crazier. I'll see you all later.